Isn't it amazing how so many of us in our 70s are healthy today? Not just because of doctors, but because of the health choices we've made all our lives. Growing up, we didn't run to the doctors every time we felt ill or sick. We went home and we treated our colds by starving them and flus by feeding them and using home remedies and calling our friends and saying we're not feeling good. We used zinc and vitamin C for colds. We worked it out at home first before going any further. We used the modalities that were available to us. They were great things: acupuncture, chiropractics, nutrition, supplements. We also learned from each other. We shared knowledge of things that worked, and we shared information about health and prevention. These weren't emergencies. They were habits that we developed and we learned from our parents. They shaped the healthy lifestyle that we carried into our 70s. And here's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Medicare is set up to pay for office visits, pills, surgeries. And the office visits are actually finders. That's what I call it. Let's find something wrong with this person so that we can treat them. But it doesn't pay for the very things that actually kept us healthy all these years. And that's prevention, alternative medicine, and holistic care. In a way, it feels like we're being punished for being healthy. We invested in our body lifestyles for decades with lifestyle choices that worked. But Medicare doesn't recognize that. Instead, the system waits until you get sick in order to add more tests and inevitably cost lots and lots of money. We invested in our bodies for years, decades, with lifestyle choices that worked. But Medicare doesn't recognize that. They want us to be sick so that they can charge for office visits, hundreds of tests, looking for something wrong, not rewarding you for being healthy. Our choices made us healthy today and have given us a better life. Here's just an example of the things that kind of bother me. You've seen the ads, right? All those commercials showing these vibrant silver-haired people riding bikes, hiking, playing with grandchildren, and walking on the beach hand in hand. They look just like many of us, slender, healthy, gray-haired, with healthy mindsets. But here's the twist. In those ads, they're always holding up a prescription bottle. The message is confusing, as if our health must come from pills. Yet the truth is, many of us live the same healthy life without those prescriptions. And we made choices decades ago that keep us healthy today. And Medicare doesn't recognize it. Another example is back in the 70s and 80s, if you had a urinary tract infection, you would go into the doctor, he would prescribe you an antibiotic, take a culture, and then call you 3 days later and tell you that antibiotic doesn't work, here's the one you need to use. That meant that patients were taking one drug for a few days, stopping it and starting another. In real life, we saw this misuse make bacteria stronger. Science today calls it genetic adaptation. But what we knew back then was simple. The wrong antibiotic used the wrong way, creating tougher bugs. And on top of that, the doses that were so strong that patients were getting sick from the treatment itself, wiping out stomach flora, causing yeast infections. Even newborn babies on IV antibiotics were getting yeast infections, something that never happened in their lives. And now, decades later, medicine reframes it as a new discovery that shorter courses work. But those of us who were there, it was obvious. People were being overdosed, and it was hurting more than helping. The truth is, we're proof that these healthy choices worked. Naturopathy, chiropractics, alternative medicine, nutrition, exercise, healthy lifestyles, and those choices kept us well. We invested in prevention, not just the treatment. And here's the dilemma to me. Medicare doesn't recognize them. They'll pay if you want to have 100 tests and physical therapy and see your doctor every week. They'll pay for surgeries and hospitalizations and drugs, but not the very practices that we, as the 70s people, that kept us healthy enough to avoid those things. Imagine what it would look like if Medicare supported prevention and wellness, not just sickness. We've carried the system by being healthier than average. Now it's time for Medicare to carry us. If we start talking about it and speaking up, maybe we can shape a future, and that gives me hope. We can shape the future where true health is valued. If you like this video, please make sure to comment below and follow me on YouTube. If you have any questions or concerns, comment below.